Hi guys, Brain here, and welcome to another commentary video. This one is going to be a little bit more on the emotional, serious side, so if that's not your cup of tea, you're only here for kind of just like ranting about perks and stuff like that. This is kind of more on the serious end of things, and it's something I've just been kind of noticed and very like upset and frustrated with for quite some time in the DBD community, and I'm sure some of you have probably also noticed it, so if it basically disclaimer, this is a more serious video, so if you're not about that and you're here to just like vibe and chill, like probably wait till tomorrow, because I'll be having a more typical video in the tomorrow zone. Today we're going to be talking about the lack of empathy in the Dead by Daylight community, because I have particularly noticed just this distinct lack of understanding and care for other people's feelings when it comes to the Dead by Daylight community. And it's something that I've kind of always known and always seen, just here and there, just little hints of it over the past 3 years that I've played this game. And it just keeps growing and growing. And it's just kind of something that I finally just want to talk about, because especially lately I've been noticing a ton of instances of people lacking empathy pretty severely. And I kind of just want to talk about that in general and kind of like lobby your feelings on it, because I don't know if it's something you've experienced as well. I think first, before I get too deep into this, I do want to say that like I have met some of my closest friends through this game. Like the two closest people in my life, I would probably say my two closest friends I met through Dead by Daylight, and I'm very, very thankful to have them in my life, and I very, very much appreciate them. And I will always be thankful for the game for indirectly leading me to some very, very great and fantastic people, just with those couple of friends that I have. So it's not all bad. It's not just like everything's terrible, and like it'd be kind of hypocritical for me to make a video yesterday talking about catastrophizing and then catastrophize today. You know, so I have met some of my closest friends through this game, so I do have that little caveat. I do have that good thing going for me. So we do have that before we get into kind of the more nitty-gritty awful stuff. So basically what I've noticed, and it kind of showed itself in very small ways initially, is that the DBD community just kind of like, for some reason, us as a group of people really have a hard time seeing ourselves in other people's shoes and trying to empathize with other people's problems and issues. This obviously manifests itself mostly as like the side v side thing, which, you know, I've made a multitude of videos about that, so I'm not going to get too in depth with that. But essentially, like, that's the first little inkling of it that I noticed, is that if you're a hardcore killer main and you are only a killer main, it seems like it's nearly impossible for you to determine like what it's like to be on the other side of somebody getting hard tunneled and BM'd or face camped and not getting to play, or on the survivor side just slamming through the gens so quickly the killer didn't even get to play, or teabagging them, or whatever, right? Whatever it happens to be, whatever bad DBD thing here that makes the game unfun. I've seen there's just a distinct lack of like, not even like understanding, because there's that too, but like also an effort to understand, like to not even like, oh well, I don't see that, but even to try and put yourself in that situation and try to figure out or discern why those things would be frustrating. I get a lot of very, very salty after chats when I play DBD. I just do. That's just how it is. The DBD community is very salty, whiny. That's just how they are. But like, I can understand a lot of the time why they're upset. For example, the other night I was playing Nemesis on Wrecker's Yard, and I had a situation where there was a gen that was like 80-90%, and I downed a person next to it, picked him up, hooked him on the hook next to the gen, kicked the gen, had it start regressing, and then a Hanato just randomly shows up. I guess they were just going to go beeline it for the save, so I start chasing him. And when I'm chasing him, I injure him, he runs away, and then a Yunjin shows up to go get the save, and then I hit her, and like they end up in this situation where they're, you know, the whole team has to come get the save now, because just everybody was hovering around hook, and the game kind of snowballs into my victory because of that. Now, I wasn't necessarily doing anything wrong. I was playing very, very efficiently, and I didn't have I had no slowdown on that build, by the way. At least I don't have slowdown on that build, do I? I guess we'll see when I put the B-roll up there. But it's either one or none. One or no slowdown. Like, I was just playing efficiently. Like, I wasn't trying to, like, spam really obnoxious perks. I wasn't trying to do anything like that. I was just playing efficiently just because people were around. And that got me a lot of anger and salt in the after chat. But, like, I can understand how it's frustrating, right? Because if those guys aren't in a Swift, they're not on comms, a bunch of randoms swarming the hook and causing everybody to lose the game, is frustrating. It's hard to deal with. So like like while I would rather them not get salty and whiny in the after chat at all, I can kind of see where they're coming from, that their randoms kind of threw the match. Their anger at me is misguided because the random shouldn't have just swarmed to the hook, but like I can get being frustrated about that, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But like I said, like if you don't really play killer and you don't understand like how advantageous of a situation that is, and there's kind of like no reason to not give that up, like you're obviously going to assume that, you know, you're a loser. That's what the David kept saying. You're such a loser. Like you're not going to get it, and you're just going to be really, really mean and direct that towards me when really it was your teammates making the error. That's an anger problem with solo queue. It shouldn't be with me. But like if you just had empathy and kind of like took a second to sit in my shoes there, you would understand why I did the things I did in that situation. You would understand why I did those things. But instead, I'm just going to get like cyberbullied on the internet because I played the game correctly, which is just really, really stupid. And this goes even further, and this gets even deeper, because it used to just be like a side v side thing, right? Like it was just like, oh, well, side v side. Clearly, people don't want to empathize with what the other side is dealing with, blah, blah, blah. But then it started going deeper and deeper. And I'm sure if you guys have paid attention to DBD Twitter at all lately, I will not be naming names, of course, because I don't want that drama for either me or you, is that there have been a lot of DBD content creators that have been outed for treating partners, treating friends, very, very disgustingly. Very, very disgustingly. And if you've been on Twitter, for DBD Twitter at all in like the past week or two, you probably know the situation that I'm referring to. And it's always just like super sad and disappointing. And it kind of gives you this general anxiety that almost every DBD content creator has like a skeleton in their closet that they're hiding. Like something like because like whether you like it or not, it is profitable to put yourself forward as like a nice, chill person, right? Like that's a brand, right? Like that's gonna get you the most views and then ergo the most money as a content creator if you put yourself forward as a kind, generous person that is empathetic, even if you're not. And a lot of these people, it ends up coming out that they were doing something terrible to their partner, they were doing something terrible to their friend on the side, and when that comes out, it's just like, it's really disappointing and really upsetting. And it's just like, it's stuff that I just don't get it. Like if these people were, I couldn't imagine doing this to a person, right? Like I couldn't imagine, like if you have an empathetic bone in your body, I couldn't see you, like one example, a friend, you know, is in a relationship with a girl and he's calling her all sorts of names, out, like just uncalled for insults and bad names all down the line, and emotionally or verbally abusing her in the background. Like that's like when that stuff comes out about a creator, you're like, dude, like you sit in their chat and you chill with them and you vibe with them, and like it's your safe place for so long, and then that stuff comes out and you're like, this person's just been faking who they are this whole time. They've just been treating their girlfriend like crap this entire time and abusing them. Like that's just not it. That's just that, like it's so like harrowing to like spend that much time in a chat and in a community and just suddenly find out that they were like bad people the whole time or just completely unempathetic the whole time. And it's just, it's like it's coming out of the woodwork. Like it's almost like I feel like it's every other day that I pull up DBD Twitter that there's like a new content creator that has a new controversy because they just were completely unempathetic and didn't care about someone else to the point where they were treating them extremely poorly. And it's just, it gets really, really exhausting. It really does feel like it's every other day. It really does feel like it's almost every other day that something comes out about someone in the DBD content creator sphere of someone doing something terrible. And it's just, I just don't get it. Like what, I feel like if I'm just kind of ranting, this is kind of just a rant video, but if I had any sort of like point or something that I want from you out of this, you, the person watching this, is like, what do you think causes this? What about Dead by Daylight in our community seems to, why is there just like this vacuum of empathy here? Like like I said, is something as small as like the side v side stuff, or something as big as like content creators hiding really, really big awful things that they're doing to other people, and then they end up getting canceled online because, you know, they've been essentially pretending to be a good person this whole time, but, you know, treating people poorly in the background. Like what is, it feels like something's in the water, you know? It's like, what about our community makes it like that? You know, like what about our community makes it seem like a place that not harvests, but harbors all these people. Because it seems like it's very, very frequent, and it happens a lot. And I don't know if that's just me, like, maybe it's just been a bad, like, couple months where a lot of this has happened, and I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of just feeling it right now, and it's not that bad. And if that's the case, you are more than free to be like, oh, I don't really notice that down in the comments below, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine, too. But I have definitely noticed, especially in the past couple months, just a lot of DVD creators aren't who they say they are. And it's kind of always, like I said, there's been seeds of this everywhere when it comes down to the side v side thing, people dismissing other people's feelings when it comes to struggles in the game. But it goes all the way up to the huge stuff too. And it feels like our community in general has a disconnect when it comes to feeling empathetic, not even just for the other side, but for people, just towards people in general. And I don't know where that comes from, and I don't know how we fix it. So if you could help me on that regard of where it comes from and how we fix it, and we can try to like be a better community together, that'd be really, really great. But that's a very, very tall task for something that big. So I now more than ever, I really, really do actually want to hear what you have to say about this, because it's something that I've just been like battling with in my mind lately, is why it seems like so many like DVD players in the DVD community is so ingenuine and has such a hard time caring about other people, which is really dark. It's really dark. So let me know what you think now more than ever. I appreciate you guys so much for spending time with me today, though. I'm going to wrap that up because I could rant about this even longer, and this video is already getting pretty long. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. I do upload daily, though, so I will see you tomorrow. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.